Hi, I'm Jen. I paint abstract portraits, and today I'm painting Joan. Joan, whenever you're ready, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I grew up in western Montana on a ranch, a small ranch compared to Texas standards. Um, my dad raised beef cattle and hay, mostly that. So I was a 4-H'er for, I think, 8 or 9 years. We had the grand champion heifer one year at the county fair. That was something. My father picked out this heifer to show, so we bring it into the barn, and I'm grooming it and feeding it and like fattening it up so it looks really good for the county fair. The calf's name was Buttercup. She was a white shorthorn, and she was magical and beautiful, and I loved her very much. And she got sick. She ate something, we think it was probably a piece of metal, and she developed peritonitis. This is sad. My dad, in his infinite wisdom, decided that he would, trigger warning, he would take a knife and stick it in her flank to release methane gas because she was getting all gassy in one side. He didn't have the proper tools to do this. So what happened was that the wound closed up of her skin, and then it just was a total mess. And because he was a frugal farmer rancher, he took poor little Buttercup, put her in the back of the flatbed truck, and brought her to the stockyards and sold her off before she died so that he could get some kind of money from it. That's life on a farm in a ranch. So I still needed to have a calf for the 4-H fair. He went out into the fields again and he picked out this other shorthorn calf, and she was young and wild, and I named her Gypsy Rose. Brought her into the fair on the back of the flatbed truck. The county agent is greeting us at the fair. My dad says, "Hey, Thad, you better get out of the way. This calf's a little wild." He doesn't really heed my father, so he's at the bottom of the ramp. He's thinking nothing of this small little calf. Well, Gypsy Rose is crazy because she's just been on the back of this flatbed truck for 10 miles into town. So she is like traumatized. We release her. She charges off of the ramp and butts poor Thad right in the stomach, and it's just like. But it turns out that this calf, Wild Thing, won best of show for best. I did a program in college called the Urban Studies program,
Okay.
where you got to spend a semester in Chicago. So I
Oh,
thought, country girl, let's go check that out. And plus, political science really interested me anyway.
okay.
And so I went to Chicago and really just felt so at home there.
Wow.
I friggin' loved Chicago. It was just so great to see such diversity, such range of people, and classes, and it was fascinating to me. With that exposure to that type of urban living, once I graduated, I said I'm moving to Chicago and I'm gonna be an actor. I got to Chicago, and Steppenwolf was happening then. I was drinking in bars with, Malkovich would show up, and Gary Sinise and Laurie Metcalf, and like people that are really, really famous right now. And they, Steppenwolf was what everybody was aspiring to, that level of artistry and just the shows that they put on. So lots of splinter ensembles started popping up, and I was in an ensemble in Chicago, and we did plays, and we had a theater company that was stationed in the basement of Second City. That's where we managed to carve ourselves out a little niche. But we did quite a few really great little shows, and I'm still friends with, the people that I was in that ensemble with. Some of my best friends in my life are still in Chicago and from that period of time. Yeah, I really do love Chicago. And I married my husband, who was a lighting designer at the time. He did the lights for, he did lighting design for a couple, maybe one or two Steppenwolf shows, and he did lighting design for our theater as well.
Wow.
He's brilliant, I have to say. I think he's wonderful.
That's
I wish he'd go back to, but he doesn't. He's into other things now. But so we got married, and then we started having a family, and it was just like, I couldn't really do plays anymore because it was like, I was with my kids, and that was the focus.
Yeah.
And then my kids fledged, and then I started to think about, I want to get back to acting. It's really what I love the most. About 3 years ago, was right before the pandemic, maybe 6 months before the pandemic or so. I started taking classes in film acting. And I think last year, when I turned 65 and could get on Medicare, I said I dropped down to just 2 days a week for my retail job and started auditioning and got in did some work
That's
doing some
cool.
films. I work with a lot of students. I really like working with students because I consider myself a student still too. I have a lot to learn. But so that's what I do.
That's really cool. I've heard wonderful things about your acting abilities from multiple people.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite taco place in town?
I like Donata's.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It's good. It is busy all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And they have, do you eat meat?
Chicken.
Chicken. They have a good chicken taco. They have a good, their seafood taco's really good.
Okay.
Their tacos are all on blue corn tortillas.
Ooh, fun.
And I think they make them there,
Wow, that's fantastic.
right?
Yeah.
And they have these margaritas that will put you on your ass. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could be a manager anywhere, but it was
Okay.
like, especially there. Or maybe not especially there. I'm not management material.
You just don't like having to tell people what to do?
I don't like having to tell people what to do, and I want to be their friends. I just want them to do their jobs. And and then like if somebody isn't there doing their job, you have to document everything and write everything down. And you have to use a computer, and I really hate using computers. Terrible at it.
Yeah.
I type like a chicken, like I hand, like rah, rah, rah. So I don't know. I got in trouble because I cussed. And if you're in leadership, you're held to a higher standard. It would have been a minor infraction if they'd heard me cuss, but because I was in leadership and they heard me cuss, I got put on final.
Oh, wow.
It's awful. And so then it was just like, I felt like I couldn't even be myself anymore.
Yeah.
So then I begged, get me out of here. So they moved me to a different store, and I got to make sandwiches and pizzas at a different store. And that was so much fun. What I wrestle with is you establish friendships with people, and you grow to love them. But at the same time, as you get to know them, I'll form little judgments, and I'll be good, just like, oh my God, have you not learned yet? Or are you really gonna, whatever thing I have an opinion about that they're doing,
Are you doing this again?
right?
That
Or
kind of-
are you doing this again? Or have you not learned yet? Or have you really? It's just like, I have one friend, and I just don't agree with how they're going,
Okay.
and it's really hard for me to. It's really hard for me to even want to be friends with them anymore.
I feel like, that's, I think, part of having the luxury of living a long life. Like, friendships, I'm sure you've seen those studies that your friends change completely every 7 years.
I haven't seen that.
No, yeah, like, because you change so much, even
Yeah.
at a cellular, like a molecularly level, you change who you are almost every 7 years. Like, your cells replace and everything. So, like,
There's that
who
number
you
7.
are.
There's that number 7.
Yeah, it's a magical number.
Do you do? I I follow Channy, and I read what is it, Moonamens, something like that.
Okay.
There'll be these proclamations. Oh, we're in eclipse season. It's going to be so much is going to happen. It's going to be a big change. Da, 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 da. And so like I'm going, okay. And I wait for this big change, but I think I have to affect it somehow.
Yeah.
It's not going to just happen for me. My sun sign is Pisces,
Uh-huh.
but I found out what my rising sign and my moon sign was, and they're both Leos.
Okay.
And so when I was like reading, like, so now I'm reading both Pisces and Leo's stuff every day, and the moon sign stuff. And I gotta say that I think since I kind of folded in the Leo stuff in with the Pisces stuff, I kind of have to think that
Okay.
it kind of makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, this desire to be a leader, but not to be a leader, and want to have the attention, you wanting to be up front and center, but then having that kind of like dreamy kind of thing too, and it's interesting. I just find that it's interesting.
What is something you do when you're feeling down to help yourself feel better?
I eat a pint of ice cream.
Yes.
And if I have it,
yeah.
I would smoke a little cannabis and then have a pint.
Oh my gosh, that's a perfect dream combination.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that is just delicious.
Yeah.
And then I'm just infinitely happier.
And
my favorite flavors?
yes, that's what I was going to ask.
Okay.
I love it.
I am a big lover of Haagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter. And if I am feeling particularly princely,
Uh-huh.
I would, is it Jenny's? Is it
Yeah,
Jenny's
with
ice cream?
yeah.
They do a milk chocolate with peanut butter flakes in it
Ooh.
that is outstanding as well. But
That's
I'm fine with the suburban Haagen-Dazs peanut butter and chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah.
Although I do like a good vanilla Swiss almond
Ooh.
very much.
That's also Haagen-Dazs, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good ice cream.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's is too busy.
Okay. I've
Just
heard that before. Yeah.
Too much going on there.
Yeah.
That's why I could never be in a threesome.
Okay. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so glad you like it.
I love it.
So that's it.
Oh, Jen, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you for being on the show. And that's it. I'll sign it and spray it, and then it's yours.
Oh, well, just a great gift. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, it's been so nice. I
Yeah.
love it. Gosh, yeah. So I think you're really beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think you're really beautiful too.
Thank you. Okay. Well,
Kinda-
thank you for watching, and thank you for being here.
Kind of little